Dorinda, I hate to be the one to tell you this. Your entire life is based on a horrible mistake. Hi everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. Today's episode is all about the Real Housewives of New York City, Season 9, Episode 15, Oil and Vinegar. Dorinda, I hate to be the one to tell you this. Not only because it's awkward, but because I am a complete stranger to you. But your entire life is based on a horrible mistake. Dorinda was talking into her phone. It sounded like she was recording something. I don't know what. But she was talking about how when she saw Mary Tyler Moore throw her head up into the air in the middle of Manhattan, she knew she had to go to Manhattan. She had to go to New York. And that's why she lives in Manhattan to this day. There's just one small problem with that story. Mary Tyler Moore threw her head up in the air in Minneapolis. Yeah. Not Manhattan. Minnesota. All I can think to myself is, Dorinda, had you understood that fact, you could be in Minneapolis to this day, living with a lovely Minnesotan man. Perhaps your life trajectory would never have crossed paths with John Pedestrian. So Carole shows up to Bethany's office and announces, "I had the most exciting morning." And Bethany says, "What?" And she said, "I went to court today." And she proceeds to talk about how prepared she was. Okay. Apparently, Adam did not get his security deposit back from the last apartment he was renting. I'm sorry, this is a little bit like a mother-son thing where she's helping him out of a jam and coming to his rescue, whatever. But she's so excited, and she's done her due diligence, and she's researched it and has all this information. And I'm thinking, wow, she really fought the good fight in court. Only to find out that the landlord management company didn't even show up to court. She won by default. Was it really an exciting morning? Okay, the big dinner. I swear, if it weren't for dinners and trips, there would be no show here. I was thinking about this the other day. It almost doesn't matter what city these women are from because they're always on vacation somewhere. We're in Mexico. We're skiing in Vermont. Wherever they go. It's not New York City. Anyway, so they're having dinner at this steakhouse, and Carole is really talking up this guy, this friend of hers from Chicago that she's fixing up with Tinsley. She describes it like this. Okay, you know when you're shopping online and at the end when you're checking out, it asks for a promo code? Well, he created a business where it's all these promo codes. And Tinsley's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" And all I can think of is, you mean like Coupon Cabin? Or any of the hundreds of other companies that have promo codes that you can look up? Okay, genius idea. When Bethany arrives at the dinner, she greets everybody, and Ramona says to the confession cam, she comes in and she greets everybody, says hello to everybody but me, but I'm fine. Oh, but she was not fine. You should have seen her face. I mean, she looked sad. Then I think Luann is the last to arrive, and she sits down between Ramona and Bethany. And earlier, we see in Luann's confession cam that she says, the only reason I'm going to this dinner is to see if Ramona has been invited yet. Why she cares that much, I don't know. Anyway, she's talking to Bethany right away. She's talking about the trip. And you can see that Bethany's uncomfortable because they're talking about a trip that she hasn't even invited Ramona to yet. And Luann is only supposed to be there going for a few days. And that was what Bethany thought was perfect, because then she could bring Ramona and Ramona wouldn't be there for the whole trip. Then suddenly Luann says, oh, I'm coming for the whole trip. Yes, I'm coming with the girls. What about the fact that you're married? You're a married woman. How can you go for the whole time on this trip? What will Tom do? Ooh. Okay, we better not ask that question. I'm sure Tom will find something to do. Luann is telling Bethany, Ramona thinks she's coming on this trip. You know, she's talking about how I have to lose weight for Mexico. And I'm thinking to myself, Ramona is sitting on the other side of Luann. And this is exactly what Bethany has said before. And she says it again later in this same episode. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you. That's so rude. Now she's doing the exact same thing because Ramona is sitting right there and they're talking about her. Luann gets up to go to the bathroom. Bethany takes that opportunity to go sit next to Ramona. And as if it wasn't uncomfortable enough, she announces to the table to please, talk amongst yourselves and don't pay attention to what's happening on this side of the table. There aren't that many of you. You're sitting at a round table. I just thought it was an unreasonable request. Anyway, as you might imagine, this conversation does not go well. It starts off very awkward, and it ends worse. Bethany is saying, I can't really not invite you. These are your friends too. You've known them, some of them longer than I have. But you've done a lot of nasty things to me in the past. Okay, we cut to Ramona's confession cam where she says, well, if she's going to apologize, this is not a very good way of doing it. You don't bring up the past and you don't bring up everything that person's done wrong in the past. That's no way to apologize. Okay, but here's the thing, Ramona. She's not apologizing to you. That's just it. She doesn't want to be friends with you. She doesn't want to move forward with you. She's just trying to get through this. So this isn't an apology. Don't make no mistake about that. Anyway, Ramona is all over the place and she starts to get really angry. You know, I was married 30 years. You've been married 2 years. So talk to me when you're in my shoes. And you know what I was thinking? She kind of has a point. Bethany acts like nobody has ever experienced anything as horrible as what she's going through, and it's all about her, and nothing compares, and how dare anybody come at her because she's had things so hard in her life. Which, she's had things hard in her life, but, you know, other people have gone through stuff too. And honestly, I do think Bethany can't take it when somebody else has a good point. Because her response to that was, I take it back. You're not invited. To which Ramona gives the best reply ever and says, well, I am coming because it's a group trip and I'm coming. I just won't go to your tequila thing, but I'm going to Mexico. Then she breaks down. She gets a little emotional. She starts to say that she only has 3 pictures in her house. One is of her daughter, and now she's getting teary. And Bethany's reply is, the waterworks are of no interest to me. Of course they're of no interest to you, Bethany. Your heart is black ice. I would expect nothing less. Then Ramona says, well, I get it. I get it. You don't want to be, you're just not an emotional person like I am. And you don't want to be mothered and you don't want to be cared for. I get it. I get it. I just want to care for you. But you don't want to be cared for. I get it. We're like oil and vinegar. And then Bethany corrects her and says, "You mean oil and water?" "No." And she goes, "Oil and vinegar go together." "No, they don't." And Bethany's like, "Yeah, they do. They're right there on the table together." "You mean oil and water." And Ramona goes, "Well, I mean, they separate." They do. She's got a point there. Almost the best part of this whole thing is Ramona working out with her personal trainer the next day. And she says, "Yeah, I've got to lose weight because I got invited to Mexico." Did ya? Is that your take on things? You got invited to Mexico? Of course you did. Oh, then we have the blind date. I don't even know what to say about this. They're talking. Tinsley is getting nervously more drunk by the minute. And she begins to talk about her ex, which is always good conversation on a blind date. She wears her wedding ring on her pinky. I'm not sure how the wedding ring fits on her pinky, but it does. And she still wears it. So, there's that. Everybody is so nervous that they're laughing at really stupid stuff, like their birthdays. "Oh, you're my birthday twin!" And "Yeah, you're a pool guy! Oh my God!" She like wants to high five, and who, you're bonding because he likes pools. Okay. I'm glad I'm not dating anymore. If that's any indication of what dating is like, I'm glad I'm not. Oh God, I'm like Luann. "I'm married, ladies. I'm married. Thank God. Thank God I don't have to do this anymore." But seriously, thank God. They decide to switch it up because it's going so well so that Scott and Tinsley can sit next to each other, and they're all touchy-feely. Tinsley, of course, goes in for too big of a kiss too quickly. It's just great. It's going so great, and Scott's loving every minute of it. Yes, because Tinsley is drunk. Wait till you meet sober Tinsley, who's crying and can't make a decision to save her life. Then let's see how much you like it. Anyway, that's about it for this episode, but some really juicy previews for the next couple episodes during the Mexico trip, which I think is going to be like 3 episodes long. But that's okay because it looks good, looks juicy, so I cannot wait. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this episode. Thank you so much. Till next time, bye.